So with Bitcoin extending all-time highs, breaking 72,000, money and demand is pouring in. And unfortunately, this is the norm. People start experiencing that FOMO, and what they actually do is they buy high to eventually sell low later when the market tanks. So for a lot of us, getting one Bitcoin is impossible. It's a dream. There's gonna be the Bitcoin ETFs and Michael Saylor just scooping it up whenever it gets so low.
So if we look at the technical analysis, we are looking at the same chart for Bitcoin, right? We have it breaking through all-time highs. Now the highest it can go, I can see, is here at the 1.618, which is around $110,000. But the lowest it can go is here at the 0.5, and that is at 36K, and that's the lowest I can see it going. The best point that I think it can get to is at the 0.618, which is around 44K. So between 36K and 44K, this is the sweet spot. I am aiming for around like $40,000, which is somewhere around here. But like surely as I thought that it might go to 10K the last time, it didn't. The lowest it ever went was 15K around here when we were taking a look at it. So at 40K, that is when you will see me buying.
Whenever Bitcoin falls down to 40,000 again, make sure to just go sell a kidney and buy one because it'll be worth it. So with Bitcoin out of reach, what other options do I have? Well, option number one is Ethereum, obviously. DeFi platforms like Maker, Aave, and Curve started on Ethereum, and they're still there. And even if you don't trust these platforms, you can still trust Ethereum. So what you can do is you can just buy Ethereum, stake it, and earn passive income. Is Ethereum a safe investment? 100% not. But it's the same with talking about Bitcoin, right? Is Bitcoin a 100% safe investment? 100% not, because it was made by humans and humans are imperfect. You can't expect humans to make something perfect. What you're doing is you're comparing risks. You're comparing the risk of US dollars or fiat currencies just flopping versus Bitcoin flopping. And for me, that's where I'm mitigating the risk. So here's a crazy scenario that I'm playing in my head. It's that when the West comes into hyperinflation, people are gonna flee from fiat currency. And what are they gonna do? They're gonna look into DeFi because I would imagine that governments will try to lock them down of their assets and how they move money. So the perfect place to go is Ethereum. So Ethereum is the perfect place for people to switch currencies. It's decentralized finance. But you know what? What's the chance that hyperinflation is going to happen in the United States? No idea, but I know that it's not zero. It's already happening in countries like Nigeria, Turkey, Argentina. All the citizens there are flocking to Bitcoin in order to protect their money from inflation. So the second option of the cryptos to look out for me is Solana. And I really paid more attention after I got screwed over by Mint Mobile. So if you're not from the US, Mint Mobile is one of the most affordable phone carriers for Americans, or it was. And that was before they released their Minternational Pass, which allows you to roam when you're abroad. So back then they had something called UpRoam, which allows you to use your service when you're abroad for a couple cents. And when I'm abroad, I usually just use my phone to check messages. So the last time I was able to use UpRoam, I've spent like $10 for service for 2 weeks. But Mint got rid of that plan and they introduced the new Minternational plan. So the Minternational plan is $40 for 7 days. 7 days of service would be $40. So that's just a pure money grab in any sense of the concept. So I'm the type of person where if something doesn't work, I don't complain about it. I look for other options, and that's what I started doing. So the option that I'm looking at right now is Helium Mobile. Now this is a carrier that gives you unlimited talks, text, and data for $20 a month. And how it is different is that it is a new crypto telecom. That means that there's not going to be any contracts with them. And on top of that, while you're on Helium Mobile, you're also earning mobile tokens. So in essence, they are paying you in order to use their phone plan. I mean, what other carriers or phone plans do you know of that actually does that? On top of that, if you were to take a guess, what Helium is built on top of? Would you ever guess that they're built on top of Solana? And with communication being a necessity and these corporations and Ryan Reynolds just trying to squeeze as much out of you, phone plans are gonna get so expensive that consumers will just have no option but to jump on this new era of telecommunications with Web3. So with the AI revolution already upon us, there's a huge demand for GPUs. That's obvious since the entire US economy is basically lifted by NVIDIA. And the third altcoin that I'm gonna recommend is Render. Now, Render's a lot less popular than Ethereum and Solana, but what it does is it offers a marketplace for people who need GPUs. If they need a video rendered or something, then they can outsource that to GPUs around the world. So with AI being so incredibly popular right now and with videos being generated by AI, that actually requires a lot of processing power, right? And that's why the cost, the bill for processing all those videos by Midjourney, it is super high, for example. So what could they do to actually reduce the cost? Well, they can use Render to access GPUs from all around the world at a fraction of the cost that it costs them now in order to generate a video. Now, like I said before, Render is very new. It is less adopted than Ethereum and Solana. But guess what? You know what Render is also built on top of? That's right, they're also built on top of Solana. And if you want to learn more about Render and what it is, check out this video here.